Hello, you guys, and welcome to this 4-day masterclass, your binge-free year. I am so freaking pumped. I am so amped up. I've been excited all morning. I've been excited all weekend. I've been excited all week. I've been excited all month. I am so excited to be here with you guys. I have incredible trainings planned for you guys. And if you guys are pumped and you are here already, some of you guys are here. Michelle, Jenny, hello, you guys. I can never see who's actually on, so just say hello in the chat box, because I'm very, very excited. If this is your very first time joining a masterclass with me, you've never done a masterclass with me before, say me in the chat. If you've never done a masterclass with me before, drop a me in the chat box. I'm excited to see who is here. Oh my gosh, Julie is here. I'm so excited. I'm butchering names. Jamie is here. Stephanie, Summer, Jenny. My gosh, Jenny is here. Rosie, Alexandra, Michelle. Oh my gosh, Laura. Oh, this is so good. So good. Natasha's here. Okay. Agnes is here. Hello. Oh my God, this is so amazing. So you are probably here because you're feeling like this is the year I'm going to conquer binge eating. This is the year I'm going to conquer binge eating. You're like, this is it. This is the year I'm going to heal my relationship with food. This is the year I am going to, oh my God, Daniela, this is the best community. Oh my gosh, I love you. Marcy's here. This is the year I've dedicated to committing to myself. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to take action. And I was reading through some of your introduction posts, and a few of you guys said, like, I really want to show up for myself this year. I really want to dedicate time for healing. And I love that. I think that's beautiful. You probably feel it in your body. Like, you probably are just excited even hearing me talk about like a binge-free year. Like, you probably just get excited in your body because you know you're ready. And truthfully, I love women who are ready. Like, I love working with women like you who are ready to put in the work, who are ready to take action, who are ready to go all in, because those are the type of people that are 100% going to conquer binge eating. So again, if this is your very first masterclass and you've never done a masterclass with me, drop me in the chat. If you are in my Root and Rewire membership, drop membership. If you're an Academy client, drop Academy. And if you've been in many of my masterclasses before, you can also say hello. I want to see who's here. Oh, this is so amazing. Jennifer's my Academy client. Heather's here. Daniela's ready. This is Brandon's first time, Sue's first time, Heather's first time, membership. I love it. Me, so good. Vicky, welcome. Oh my gosh, we're going to have so much fun in this masterclass. By the way, like, you guys don't even understand what I have planned for you. Julie, okay, amazing. Cindy is here. Cindy's a past client. Okay, membership vibes, so good. Membership, Cindy. Okay, so a first few things before we actually dive in. And Liz just joined the membership yesterday. So excited. Oh my God, this is amazing. First time, Emily, Marcy, first time, Sinette, first time. Okay, this is so good. So there's going to be 4 trainings, okay? There's going to be a mixture of strategy and mindset. So there's going to be some trainings specifically focused on cultivating the right mindset to help you conquer binge eating. And then there's going to be some training specifically designed for the strategy, like specific things of what to do, what to focus on. This is my work. You can't have one or the other. You need both. You can know all the things, right? You can know all the things of what to do, but if you don't actually have the right mindset, this is often when self-sabotage happens. On the flip side, you can have the most amazing mindset. You're fired up. You're ready. You're like, I'm going to do this. I'm ready to heal my relationship with food. I'm ready to stop thinking about food 24/7. I'm ready to stop my binge eating. But if you don't know what to do, to stop your binge eating, you don't know what to do to become less impulsive, you don't know what to do to get rid of your urges, it's going to be challenging. So we need a mixture of both the strategy and the mindset. Today is all about mindset. Tomorrow will be strategy, and then we're going to go from there. Okay? Now, I'm going to be doing a giveaway because I want to have so much fun in this masterclass. I'm going to choose our first winner tomorrow. There's going to be 3 winners, okay? Because there's going to be 3 days after today. So there's going to be 1 winner every single day. You guys aren't going to know what you're going to win until you hear it. How to enter the giveaway, okay? All you need to do, there's going to be a few different options in terms of how you can win. The first option, I just posted a photo, the cover photo. It says your binge-free year. All you need to do is grab that. You can repost it to your Instagram stories and tag me. And that is a draw to enter. Okay. So I posted the cover photo. It says your binge-free year. All you got to do is literally save that photo. You can take a screenshot, tag me on my Instagram stories. You can say part of the 4-day masterclass, or I'm learning from Lorna, whatever it is, post it and tag me. So simple. The second way to enter, there's going to be different ways. You can do one, you can do all 3, doesn't really matter. The second way to enter is you can go on my Instagram and you can share any of my posts, any videos, any quotes, any photos that resonate with you, and you can share on your Instagram stories and you can tag me. Simple, simple, simple. The third way is, I know many of you guys are listening to the Ditch Decade Diets podcast and you freaking love it. All you need to do is leave a rating and a review on the podcast. Take a screenshot and send it to me because it takes a while for it to upload, but that's it. So those are the 3 ways to enter. Obviously, the more times you do it, the more entries you have to win. So again, first option, use the cover photo. It says your binge-free year. Just post that on your Instagram stories and tag me. Second option is post any photo or any video on my Instagram and just put that on your Instagram stories and tag me. Or you can leave a rating and a review on the podcast and just screenshot it because I won't be able to see it. It takes a few days. And you'll be able to listen to that, or you'll be able to do that. Where can I listen to the podcast? So I will just drop this right here for you. It's the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. You can listen it here. You can do a rating and review on Spotify or Apple. Where did you post your binge-free year photo? It's the cover photo, Mac. It's the cover photo. I'll repost it. I'll repost it in the group, but it's just the cover photo of this Facebook group. Okay, awesome. All right, so you guys can go ahead and have some fun entering the giveaway. There will be 3 winners. You guys are going to be, I don't even want to share what the prizes are because they're going to be different every single day, but you guys are going to be so freaking excited. We're going big. We're going big. Okay, so it's going to be so much fun. So I don't want this to be another masterclass that you attend. I want this to be a masterclass that changes the trajectory of your relationship with food. How you show up for your binge-free year starts now. You guys are like, wait, what? I didn't feel like I need to put in the work now. Yes, it starts now. It starts now. Because why wait? How you show up in the how you show up in this masterclass is going to determine a lot. Imagine if you look back at your life a year from now and you remember this exact moment where you were seated, what you were wearing, how you're listening to this, if you're on a computer, if you're on your phone, if you're walking, if you're trying to focus on work. Imagine you remember this exact moment a year from now. And you look back at this moment and you're like, this is the day that I chose to really go all in and heal my relationship with food. How special would that be? How special would that be? So don't treat this masterclass like it's just any other masterclass. Really dedicate time to be here. Utilize the chat. There's going to be homework or things that I asked you guys to post in the group. Really show up for yourself, interact, plug into the group, because how you show up now is going to determine your binge-free year. We're not waiting. What are we waiting for? Your life is now. So how you show up now matters. This is not just a 4-day masterclass where you learn information. If you've been here for a while, you know I say it's not just about learning the information. It's about actually integrating the information. Knowledge is only powerful when you actually integrate it. So who is going to be committed to not just learning the information, but actually implementing it? Drop a me below. You're like, I don't want to just learn. I'm here to change my freaking life. I don't want to just learn. I want to get results. I want to see progress. I want a healthy relationship with food. I'm going to be committed. Who is committed to implementing? Michelle, Emily, Nadia, Becca, Mac, Brittany. I want to see all 44 of you guys. The chat should be blowing up. Michelle, I'm in. Laura, Kendall. Yes, so good. So I will be doing a training. We're going to get into it. Just one more thing before we actually get started here. I will be going live every single day, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This is completely free, but I will be taking it down afterwards. So this 4-day masterclass, I want you guys to literally treat this like a freaking program that's going to change your life, because it absolutely will. This is completely free, right? But I will be taking it down. It's going to turn into a paid masterclass. So show up live, like actually show up for yourself. If for whatever reason you can't come live, plan in your schedule when you're going to watch the replays, okay? Because I will be taking it down afterwards. So be sure to watch and be sure to get it all taken care of, okay? It's free now, but it will turn paid, so I will take down the videos afterwards, okay? All right. So, oh, Christina, by the way. Okay, hi, Christina. Okay. Who here, I know you guys dropped me before, but who here is not just ready to have a better relationship with food, but you're actually going to make it happen? Like, you're not the type of person that says, oh, I want a better relationship with food. You're the type of person that's going to make it happen. You're not the type of person that says, I really want to stop my binge eating. No, you're the type of person who's a badass and who's actually going to make it happen. If you are ready to take action and you're ready to heal your relationship with food, you're ready to eat without impulse, you are here for a reason. You are here because you're ready. You are fired up. And if I'm guessing, something in my content landed for you. You don't want to just have a few binge-free days, because you've had that before, I'm sure. You don't want to just start the new year with a positive mindset and go balls to the wall, right? And then revert back to your old habits a few weeks or a few months later. You are here for a reason. You are here because you want to do things sustainably. You want to end your binge eating for good. You're done with quick fixes. We don't do quick fixes over here, by the way. If you are new here, we do not do quick fixes. And right off the bat, this one mindset is going to really help you have your binge-free year. If you want to be binge-free, not just for a year, but for the rest of your life, you don't want any more urges. You want to be able to eat without guilt. You need to have this mindset that you are committed and doing this no matter freaking what. I'm going to talk about what commitment means in the context of binge eating, because commitment is very different than being committed to a diet. But before I dive into commitment, we're going to talk about that in a future training. Food freedom, I love it. Your content definitely resonates. That's so amazing. I want to share a little bit about my story, because I want to show you guys that a binge-free life is so close for you. Like, it's not even just so close, it's so possible. I didn't just have my binge-free year. I've been able to maintain a binge-free year for almost 4 years now. And I want to share my story so that you can kind of see, oh, maybe Lorna was exactly where I was at, or very similarly. And if she can do it, so can I. I want to share my story to show that a binge-free life for you is actually closer than you think. Because sometimes when you think about a binge-free life, and maybe you're binging every single day right now, it's like, Lorna, are you crazy? I would just like 1 binge-free week, please. But we're not here. You're not here to just have a binge-free week. You're not here to just have a binge-free month. You want a binge-free year. You want a binge-free life. Right? So I'm going to share a little bit of my story. In terms of the replays, all the videos are going to be in the Facebook group. Okay. In terms of all the replays, you can watch them in the Facebook group. They're going to be posted. So like I'm going live now, and then after you're going to be able to watch the replay, but watch it whenever you can, as soon as you can. Thank you, Mac. Mac is one of my clients and she's just amazing. So thank you for responding, because I won't be able to obviously respond to everyone. Okay, so I spent years yo-yo dieting. I grew up as a competitive dancer. Any past dancers in the house or any dancers in the house? And I know some of you guys messaged me like, Lorna, my story is so similar to you. Anyways, I grew up as a competitive dancer. And when I was younger, there really wasn't much that I wasn't really thinking too much about my body, right? Like I had the biggest sweet tooth. I was eating chocolate every single day. I would have ice cream with my dad every single day. Like I never really thought twice about food, or, you know, like when I was in grade 7, grade 6, I didn't really think too much about my body. But when I was grade 8, maybe 14 years old, I got called fat by one of the other dancers. And this turned my world upside down. This was the beginning of my dieting history. Those 3-letter word, fat, changed my life. I started dieting at the age of 14. This is what made me obsessed about the way that my body looked. I started obsessing about every single calorie that I consumed. I remember going to school and I would normally pack a sandwich. And I would cut it down the middle so there would be 2 pieces. I remember only bringing 1 piece to school because I didn't want to be called fat again. I thought I needed to lose weight. I thought I needed to be smaller. I never thought that my body was going to look good enough. And there were some days I literally would not even eat all day. I remember feeling so hungry. I couldn't even concentrate when I was in school or performing at dance. I felt like I was literally going to pass out. I was so obsessed with trying to become a smaller me. Anyone resonate with that? It's like you spent years of your life just trying to be smaller. I need to be smaller. I need to be smaller. I need to be smaller. And so, like many of you, I tried every diet under the sun, right? Keto, intermittent fasting, 21-day fix, portion containers, tracking macros, carb cycling, paleo, all the different ones. Because I had this fear, if I'm not on a diet, I'm going to be fat. But what I recognized was even on the days where I was dieting, even on the days where I was eating super healthy and I was following a specific plan, I still felt fat. I still had this obsession with food all day. I had no problems working out. No problems working out. It was fun for me. It was enjoyable. Now, how I got into working out probably wasn't the healthiest because I started over exercising and spending hours in the gym. So obviously that was not healthy, but I really did enjoy it. It made me feel really good, the endorphins, and I still to this day love working out. But no matter what diet I followed, I couldn't stick to it. Anything long-term. Who can relate to this? You're like, I do well for like 2 or 3 days, and then I fall off track. And I started a new diet and I'm so excited. And then I do well for like a week or 2, and then I fall off track. I noticed this pattern with myself. Every Monday I was restarting a diet. Like every Monday. I'm like, what the heck? Every Monday, I'm like, I'm starting a new thing every single Monday. This is going to be the week. This is going to be the month. This is going to be the year. I kept making promises to myself, like for real, this week, I'm going to actually stay on track. As if I had so much power to stick to the diet, right? It was like, as if I can just like wave a magic wand and it's like, this is the week where you're going to, this is the week where you're going to be consistent with your food, as if like I had the power. You know what I'm saying? It's like every single week, I'm like, this is the week. Lorna, this is your week. As if it was like so simple. Like, it's just if I told myself that I'm going to stay on track, I would just magically not have any urges. I would just magically not be thinking about food, even though food was on my mind 24/7. Like, it doesn't work like that, right? We can't just say like, this is going to be your week. Like things like you actually got to do different action. And so I couldn't stick to any diet. And I thought it was because I didn't have motivation. I wasn't trying hard enough. I wasn't disciplined enough. I just thought it was me. Hi, I'm the problem. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's the diet that I'm following. Maybe it's because the diet that I'm following is too restrictive. When I was on 21-day fix, it was too restrictive. And then I would try a meal plan. And then I would go on the meal plan and I'm like, but I want foods outside of the meal plan, too restrictive. And then I went to tracking calories and macros. And then when I was obsessed with, oh my God, I got to get hit X amount of protein and X amount of carbs, I'm like, this is too restrictive. And so I kept on jumping from one diet to the next, believing that maybe a different diet would be better. And I knew I was deprived. I knew I was feeling restrictive. I knew that it was not normal. And it's crazy because diet culture tells you it's okay if you're deprived. It's okay if you're hungry. It is not okay. Diet culture tells you it's okay if you have these crazy cravings and if you're starving. It's okay if you are tired and you don't have a lot of energy, you're dieting. It's okay. It is not okay. I thought going from another diet to another diet was going to be the thing that would help me stop binge eating, that would help me actually be consistent. It's like shiny object syndrome, right? It's like, ooh, there's a new diet over here. Ooh, intermittent fasting, how cool. It's not really a diet, but it kind of still is. But like, there's not really a lot of food rules. You just got to start eating at a certain time and not eat past a certain time. Like, ooh, like shiny object syndrome. Like, ooh, maybe this is going to be the thing. But no matter what diet protocol I followed, I noticed I was becoming impulsive. I noticed that I couldn't control myself around food. Let me know in the comments, can you relate with being impulsive? Like, it's not like you can just have one cookie and move on with your day. It's like, if you have a cookie, you end up eating the row of cookies. Or if you tell yourself you're going to have a bowl of something, next thing you know, you're back in the pantry and you're grabbing another snack. And it's like, there's never enough food. I think about sweets all the time. Yes, Emily. Heather, this sounds like my life right now, always jumping around. So at this time, I was recognizing I was very impulsive. It wasn't like I just couldn't stick to the plan. I noticed that I was having these urges. And at the time, I had no idea what the heck these urges were, but it felt like somebody was like taking over my body and doing these things with food that didn't feel like me. I'd have an entire box of crackers or an entire box of cookies, multiple cookies at once. Then I would go into the ice cream. And then it was like, well, I need something savory. And like, oh, there's leftover pasta in the fridge. And I normally don't eat pasta. So like, and it was just non-freaking stop. I remember eating chocolate chip banana bread when I was home alone. No one was home. I was eating chocolate chip banana bread out of the freezer. I don't even know what it tasted like. I pretty much remember that it tasted like shit. But I could not control myself. Nobody's home. I'm feeling impulsive. 1 turned into 2, turned into 3, turned into 4. And next thing you know, I had zero control. It was like I entered like a black hole. And like I like escaped from the world for a second. Like it wasn't even me doing this. It was not me doing this. Impulsive, truly never satisfying. Secret eating. I feel like I have to finish my entire plate. I don't want to waste food. I've done that. I've had something salty. I need something sweet for balance. Yes. So later on, I realized that this was binge eating. It was eating a lot at once, but also it was the thinking about food all day. It was the fearing foods. It was the labeling food as good versus bad. These are all signs of an unhealthy relationship with food, eating in secret. Hurry up before somebody walks in. So I had this realization of like, hold on, it's not that I just can't stick to a diet. It's not that I just can't stick to a diet. These are signs of an unhealthy relationship with food. I'm not just falling off track with my diet. Like this is binge eating. And it's not that I don't have motivation. It's not that I'm not trying hard enough. Like I have these freaking strong urges that I need to get rid of. Like I have to reprogram my brain out of these habitual cycles. I need to understand why I'm feeling impulsive. I need to understand why I'm going into the cupboards and feeling like an absolute crazy person, not being able to stop. And normally every January was a new diet. Things needed to be perfect. I would set new goals for myself. I would spend so much time planning, little time executing, because it was so unrealistic. I'd spend months planning, sitting there. This is the diet. This is your new workout plan. Planning. And then only executing for a short time. Planning for long time planning, short-term executing, because every plan that I set for myself was so unrealistic that I can only stick to it for a short amount of time. So 2019 was the year that I decided it was time. I now had awareness. I was binging. I had awareness that I had an unhealthy relationship with food, and I was ready to heal. This is the first point I want to make. I 100% went all in on healing my relationship with food in 2019. January 31st of 2019, I went all in on myself. Why am I sharing this? Because for a lot of people, they think if I'm going to have my binge-free year, January 1st is the magical day. January 1st, I need to be perfect. I need to have all my ducks in a row. I need to have everything so perfectly before January 1st, because God forbid I start on January 2nd, I'm going to pass out. God forbid I start on January 15th. I'm already 15 days behind everyone else. God forbid I can't even start at the end of January. It needs to be January 1st. That's the first problem. I didn't start January 31st, meaning that I didn't work on my relationship with food at the beginning of January. I did. I was working on my relationship with food even at the end of 2018, but something shifted within me. This is important. I recognize that I was saying I wanted a better relationship with food, but I didn't know how to heal it. I was saying I wanted a better relationship with food, but I didn't know how to stop my urges. I was saying I wanted a better relationship with food, but I still had food rules. I was saying I wanted a better relationship with food, but I was still restricting. So specifically on the 31st, that's when I made this declaration. That's when I was like, I am going to do this. I'm going to stop these crazy diets. I'm going to focus on healing my relationship with food. I'm going to focus on changing my thoughts. I'm going to change how I'm speaking to myself. I'm going to cultivate self-love. This is going to be my binge-free year. Because for 10 years of my life, I've spent hating my body, eating as little as possible, over-exercising, and fearing certain foods. I don't want that anymore. January 31st was the day I had a breakthrough. The day where I'm like, I am going to do this. I'm going to go all in. And that year, I showed up for myself. I took action. I put in the work. And I'm so grateful for that moment, for that day, that I chose to say yes to myself and give myself this opportunity to heal a decade-long battle with food, because it's been almost 4 years since I've binged. I share this because there is nothing magical or special about January 1st. Diet culture will make you believe that you need to have a specific game plan. You got to have your diet ready, and you got to have your workouts ready, and you better have your New Year's resolution set, and you better have all of your ducks in a row before January 1st, because if not, you're not going to have a binge-free year, and you're not going to hit your goals, and that's complete BS. You know what that actually does? It creates pressure. Who here gets a little anxious in December? Like, thinking about a new year, does anyone get a little anxious? For me, I love December. Like, I love Christmas and the lights and the music and the holly jolly festive spirits, one of my favorite times of the year. But I would almost feel anxious mixed with sadness, because there was pressure. Everyone and their mother and their friend and their neighbor and their girlfriend and their partner was talking about what diet they were going on and how they're going to make next year incredible, and the goals that they're setting for themselves and the New Year's resolutions. And I'm like, I feel far behind. Like, should I be going on a diet? Like, there was always so much pressure and I didn't want to feel left behind. But I'm here to tell you, there's nothing magical about January 1st. In fact, it doesn't actually matter the day that you start. It matters that you start. I'm going to say that again. It actually does not matter the day that you decide to go all in and healing your relationship with food and stop binge eating. It doesn't matter when. It matters that you start. What matters is that you decide. What matters is that you commit. What matters is that you take action. So drop in the chat. Decide, commit, action. Drop in the chat. Decide, commit, action. It doesn't matter when you start. What matters is that you start. It does not matter. Forget about, oh, January 1st. Oh my God, if I'm not perfect on January 1st, there's nothing magical about that. There's nothing magical about a Monday. There's nothing magical about the start of your birthday month, even though your birthday month is very special, right? There's nothing special about, like, I don't know, right after a certain holiday. Like, there's nothing special. What matters is that you start. Why can't you start right now? Exactly today, exactly as you are. Decide today that today is the day. You don't need to wait for another Monday. You don't need to wait for another month. You don't need to wait for your birthday month. You don't need to wait for a holiday to be over. That's self-sabotage. You can start today and remember this day forever. The clients that I work with that end up having phenomenal results and heal their relationship with food is because they're ready and they commit to the process and they take action. I've had so many clients come in to join my membership last month, this month, November and December. They're not waiting. They know with the right tools, it can make a difference. With the proper community, it can make a difference. A month can make a difference. 2 weeks can make a difference. Why can't you start now, today, exactly as you are? And decide today is the day. You don't need to wait for a Monday, a new year. You can start today. Like I said at the beginning of this, I said, how you show up right now is actually going to determine your binge-free year. Because if you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not going to start now. Why start now? I'm going to start later. That's already the problem, because you're thinking that there needs to be a special day for you to start. That's the problem. If you decided today, you know where you can be in a week? If you decided today, do you know where you can be in 2 weeks? If you decided today, imagine where you can be a month from now. Like, you guys, progress can happen the moment that you decide. The moment that I decided, everything started shifting for me. So I want to get the excitement going here. I want all of you guys to share. What would you love to happen with your relationship with food over the next year? What would make you so happy? Like, what would you be able to do with your family? How do you want to feel around food? What are you most excited about? Can you drop it down below? I want everyone to comment. What would you love to experience with your relationship with food? What are you most excited about in terms of what you're going to be able to do? How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel calm? Do you want to feel relaxed? How do you want to feel? What is your, like, how do you, like, what would you be able to experience if you felt calm and you felt more relaxed with food? What would you be able to do? More mindful around food. Yes. Not having to think about it. Yes. I want all of you guys to comment. Feeling like I am in control. Yes, Daniela. Emily says, I would love to experience the freedom of not obsessing about food. I would love to set a good example for my 2 little girls. And look, I want you to feel like, I want you to see everyone else's and get excited. So good. Mackenzie, to actually live in the moment, not be not be one place physically and mentally thinking about food. Becca, I want to find a different way to process my feelings instead of avoiding them using food. Yes. Sue, enjoying eating out and choosing what I want and being relaxed about it. Oh, so good. Heather, the anxiety to start can feel overwhelming. I want to feel in control around food. Yes. Michelle, I want to feel more confident, more present. Christina, freedom food, enjoying meals with friends. Jamie, time to focus on everything else. Marcy, more neutral around food. Mac, I'm so excited to make crazy memories with my loved ones because I'm fully present with them. Yes. Sue, no more food anxiety. Callie, not be thinking about it. Most importantly, is to be able to teach and show my daughter and sons what a healthy relationship with food truly is. Yes. Kendall, I want to be excited for other things than food. Yes. Brittany, I'm looking forward to not living in shame. Yes. I want to not feel as though I have to know the calories in advance. Agnes, after 5 decades, I'm 37 days binge free, best feeling ever. Food freedom, heck freaking yes, Agnes. Summer, free up mental space and feel like I have agency over the desire to eat. No more inflammation from binging. Does this not freaking fire you up? Like, give me some hearts if this is just like firing you up right now. Look at all these things. And when I read these, I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, that was also going to happen. Oh, yeah, that's so possible. Oh, yeah, obviously she's going to make that happen. Like, I'm like, yep, that's going to happen. Yep, 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 yep. So all of these things that you wrote down, all of this is going to happen. But I want to say this. When I say make this your binge-free year, ironically, I actually want you to release the timeline. Now, you might say, but Lorna, if I say this is going to be my binge-free year, I better be binge-free. I better see results tomorrow. I better see results in a month. You are going to see results. All those things are going to happen. You're going to have less inflammation from binging. You're going to feel more confident. You're not going to be thinking about food 24/7. You're going to get the results, but you have to actually release the timeline of when. Timelines create pressure. Drop that in the chat. Timelines create pressure. I want you to think back to one of your past diets that you've been on. Maybe you were prepping for a wedding, you were going to go on vacation, and just think about getting ready for that wedding or getting ready for that beach party or whatever it was. You probably felt a lot of anxiety and you probably felt a lot of stress and you probably felt a lot of pressure leading up to that. Whether you hit the goal or you did not hit the goal, it felt like very pressure inducing. Let's say you were going on vacation in 8 weeks and you're like, I must hit this goal in 8 weeks' time. The entire 8 weeks, you are not enjoying the journey. You're on autopilot. You're going through the motions. You're going through the days because all you care about is the end destination. I got to hit this goal. I got to lose the 20 pounds or whatever it is so that you can be in a bathing suit and feel good for 1 week. Let's say you did reach the goal. You're on the beach and you're feeling comfortable, but then it lasted a week because you came home from vacation and you were ravenous and you started eating all the foods that you never allowed yourself to have before going on vacation. And now you have strong urges and now you're spiraling out of control. And now what? Oftentimes you feel worse. You feel worse about yourself because you worked so hard for an entire 8 weeks. You were so motivated. You were so disciplined. You didn't have this. You didn't go out for dinner. You worked out for 7 days a week. You did all these things. And now all of your hard work went down the drain and you feel worse. And there's so many things wrong with this because not only did you probably not enjoy those 8 weeks leading up to the vacation, but you probably didn't even really enjoy vacation because you're like, well, I need to maintain this. I can't have dessert. I have to maintain this. Or you're like, well, I hit my goal and I'm on vacation, so YOLO. Well, bring on the snacks and bring on the buffet and bring on the all you can eat and all you can drink. I'm just going to eat whatever because then when I come home from vacation, I'm going to get back to it. Regardless, it's not the right mindset. Now, this was an example of you reaching your goal. But let's say you don't reach your goal in a time that you set it. You have 8 weeks before you go on vacation and you don't hit the goal. How do you feel? You set a goal for yourself and you don't hit it. How do you feel? You said you were supposed to do something in 8 weeks and you didn't do it. How do you feel? You still feel like a failure because you didn't hit the goal you said you were going to hit in that time period. Either way, whether you hit a goal or you don't hit a goal, creating a timeline puts pressure on yourself. Kendall says, I've never felt more seen and understood. I see you, Kendall. I see you. So when I say, let's make this your binge-free year, I want you to know you are going to conquer. Like, you are going to have your binge-free year. You are going to feel so free with food. And you're going to look back and be like, I am such a freaking badass. I am so damn proud of myself for putting in the work. But you need to release the timelines. And that's a big secret. What I mean by this, January of 2019, I said to myself, I'm going to stop my binge eating. But I did not set a timeline. I did not say I better be binge free by X amount of time. I just felt it in my body. Like I just felt like I was going to do it. Like, I don't even know how. At the time, I didn't know how, but I'm like, I'm going to do it. I didn't care how long it was actually going to take me. I just knew I did not want to live my life this way. I didn't want to live the rest of my life being at war with my body and feeling controlled by food. That was a clear fact. I'm like, heck freaking no. I'm not living my life like this anymore. Like I'm ready. I am binge free today because I did not set a timeline. Did I want to end my binge eating yesterday? Yeah. Did I want results to come fast? But the key difference is that I didn't throw in the towel after 1 month because I wasn't binge free yet. I didn't throw in the towel or go back to dieting or re-download my Fitness Pal when things got challenging. This is important. I made a commitment to myself. I knew I was going to conquer binge eating. What I didn't know and what I didn't have control over was when. But I did show up for myself every single day. And when you release the timelines and you just show up for yourself and you're taking massive action every single day, knowing you're going to conquer binge eating, you're going to make it happen. If you took action for 365 days, you changed the way you spoke to yourself, you stopped dieting, you focused on healing your relationship with food, you showed up as the best version of yourself, there's no doubt progress is going to happen. The problem is too many people start and get excited. At the beginning, it's like, I'm so excited. This is going to be my year. I'm so ready. Like even on this masterclass, maybe you're so freaking amped up. But when results aren't happening as fast as you like, how do you show up then? Yeah, screw it. I'm just going to go back to dieting. Or you second guess yourself and you self-sabotage because you're like, oh, looks like things aren't working. So, okay, got to go back on my diet. I'm uncomfortable in my body. Yep, I'm going to go back to my diet. I want to share with you an example of one of my clients that I work with. She was transforming her relationship with food. She came to me after trying every million diet under the sun. She was in years and years and years of therapy. She tried so many different things. She came to me. I started working with her. I started teaching her how to rewire her brain, have less binge urges, have a better relationship with food. And a lot of the times every week, she'd bring up, when am I going to conquer? Like, when? Like, how long does it take? And she was making great progress. She was barely binging. She was able to buy chocolate, have some whenever she wanted without spiraling out of control. And she was taking really good care of herself. She was practicing breath work. I have a breath work bundle. She was doing that every day. She was showing up for herself. And she kept on asking, like, when am I going to be free? And I had to reflect back to her that she was making incredible progress. And she knew that. She could feel that. But the thing is, you guys, when you're healing your relationship with food, there's not a tangible result that you can see. When you're dieting, you maybe take progress photos. So you compare one photo and you compare the other and you're like, oh, look, I see a difference. You step on this scale and you notice like there's something you can measure. Like it's a physical result. Something is telling you that you're making progress. When it comes to healing your relationship with food, there's not a measurable way to track this. If I'm on my way to becoming binge free, like there's not really like a tangible way to track that. But shifts are happening. And right now, maybe you've even noticed that there are certain things that you've been able to do with food that you never even thought was possible. And if something comes to mind, I'd love to hear it. So maybe you were able to go out for dinner and you didn't even look at the menu and you just like ordered what you wanted. And you're like, wait, did that just happen? Maybe you were able to, one of your coworkers brought in donuts or cookies for you know, a party or whatever. And you're able to just like have one. And you're like, oh, I actually didn't spiral into a binge. It doesn't mean that everything is perfect. It didn't mean maybe you didn't binge that night, but the fact that that even happened for you, like holy freaking moly, right? That's progress. But oftentimes it's like, no, that didn't count. Yeah, I was able to have the donut without guilt, but I'm not binge free yet. Yeah, I was able to order what I wanted at the restaurant with my family and I was able to have a nice meal and we were having such good conversations and I got caught up with my sister and oh my gosh, it was so amazing, but I'm not binge free yet. The key word is yet. It's coming, but you need to recognize that all of this is progress. All of these wins that you're experiencing along the way are compounding. They're adding up to your binge-free year. So I had a conversation with that client and I reflected back to her for how far she's come. And it's so funny because she's like, I'm not even like binging. Like I'm like, my mindset has completely changed. Like I no longer see food as good versus bad. Like I'm not even feeling guilty anymore. But it's like, sometimes it's like, we need that reflection back to be like, you're on the right path. Things are happening. Even if you physically can't see it, I like to say things are kind of happening behind the scenes, like in your brain. I talk a lot about rewiring your brain to stop binging. It's one of my methods. You can't see if your brain is reprogramming. You can't see if your brain is rewiring, but it's happening behind the scenes. And when I told this client, I said, ironically, when you focus less on the timelines, and all you do is you show up for yourself every day and you utilize the tools, you're going to see faster results than focusing on the timeline. Because when you focus on a timeline and you think you should be binge free by a certain time, and maybe you didn't stop your binge eating by a certain time, you thought you would be binge free yet, it's so easy to throw in the towel. And as soon as this client, she showed up every day, because that's what you have control over. You have control over how you show up, taking action, right? Her entire life completely transformed. Not only just ending binge eating, more confidence, self-respect, self-love, her health improved, her happiness improved, her relationships improved, everything. When it comes to rewiring your brain and ending binge eating, internal shifts happen. You can't see it, but you can start to feel it. You're having less urges. There's not something tangible that you can see. But this is where you got to go back to the beginning. And when you say, I'm all in, are you truly all in? Or is there a moment where it's been a few weeks and you feel like you should be further along and you beat yourself up and you self-sabotage because you're like, results are slow, so it's probably not going to happen for me. That's self-sabotage. Write sabotage in the chat. On my journey back in 2019, I decided January 31st, it was my time. I was going to conquer. Did I magically stop binge eating on February 1st? No. When people ask me how long it's going to take, I don't know. The truth is, I can't predict that. But what I do know is how you show up for yourself matters. The people who show up when things are going well, the people who show up when things are going not so well, even after a binge, those are the people that are going to conquer. The people who take daily action, the people who are open to a new approach, the people who implement the tools, they have the right mindset. They remind themselves things are going to take time, but they show up either way. That makes a difference. Let me ask you this. If it's been 1 month and you didn't stop binge eating yet, because you will, but your mindset has completely shifted, I want you to imagine, no matter what your circumstances right now, 1 month from now, you're having less guilt with food. You were able to eat a cookie with your lunch like it's no big deal. You're having way less urges. You order pizza, the best pizza at the restaurant, you're eating it and it tastes so good, and no matter how good it tastes, you just stop when you're full. You don't finish your plate, you don't clear your plate because you paid for it or because you're out for dinner in a restaurant. How would you feel if that happened? It's been 1 month, you started having less guilt, you're having less urges, you're leaving food on your plate. Maybe you're not binge free yet. And it doesn't mean that things were perfect in that month. Maybe you did have a few binges, but all of those things happened. You ordered the best pizza, so good. You're full, so you just left some on your plate. You had some cookies for lunch and it was like not even a freaking big deal. You're like, oh, so good. Okay, gonna go back about my work day. How would you feel? Probably pretty freaking damn good. I would feel amazing, right? Of course, you want to stop your binge eating tomorrow, and you're going to get there. But these were all goals that you dreamed of. I wish I would be able to just eat a cookie or two and move on with my day. And then that happens, and you're like, but I am not binge free yet. Or it's like, I was able to stop when I'm full for an entire week, but like I had one binge. You need to celebrate every single moment, because just like being able to stop when you're full was a huge goal for yourself and it happened, a binge-free life is a big-ass goal. And it's going to happen too. But it happens through these little glimpses of freedom. So I want you to get excited about your goal of no more binging, but be it detached from the timeline. I actually don't know when I stopped binging, because it wasn't like I was binging every single day and then all of a sudden, like I didn't have I wasn't binging anymore. Like it happened gradually. One day I was eating apple pie with Andrew's family without guilt. One time I was home alone and I didn't even have the desire to binge, when normally being home alone would be a trigger. Then I was able to like bring chocolate with me to work and just like have some and not feel the need to come home and binge on the rest of it later. Like there's all these little glimpses of freedom, but you can't discredit them. Those are the things that actually catapult you to your binge-free year and beyond. So even though conquering binge eating isn't something tangible that you can see, how do you feel? What are you experiencing with food that you once dreamed of? You're going to continue doing this along the way. So you've got to release the timelines and get excited about this desire to stop binge eating, but have it be from a place of excitement, not stress or pressure or overwhelm. Drop in the chat, excitement over pressure. Drop this in the chat, excitement over pressure. Because when you have this excitement or like this desire to do something, you're excited. It's like you're motivated and you're like ready to take action. You're driven, you're committed. When you tell yourself you need to do something, you better get X results in X time. I need to get X results in X time. I need to lose weight before my trip in 3 weeks. I need to end my binge eating in 1 day. Like, how do you feel? Stressed and overwhelmed and anxious. So focus on your excitement, but don't put pressure on yourself. When you do this, and you have confidence that you will conquer, and you know you will because that's just who you are, you're a freaking badass, you take action, and you notice these glimpses of freedom every single day, you're gonna see it compound over time. And that will skyrocket your progress. That's gonna help you stop binge eating faster, over stressing over the timelines and putting pressure on yourself. So excitement over pressure. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is consistency. Consistency. I used to think consistency meant being spot on with my macros, being spot on with my diet plan, no sweets, no binges, no chocolate, working out 7 days a week. But when I tried to follow what I thought, keyword thought, was being consistent, I would work out for 7 days per week. I would eat on my plan. I'd stick to my macros for like a week. And then I would have a binge that would throw me off track for potentially a week or more, and then feel like I messed up and I wasn't consistent. Oh my gosh, Cara, I feel like you know me because I was literally about to say that part's coming up. That's amazing. So I would fall off track. I wasn't consistent and I felt like I needed to restart. How do you feel when you have to restart something? Like when you think about like you tried so hard and now you have to restart something, how do you feel? It's pretty awful, right? It's like, oh, I put so much hard work into this and now I have to like redo it. Like what? I feel it's awful. I put in so much hard work and now I have to like restart. Like that's probably like the worst feeling. Defeated. And this is where you got to shift your mindset and see how dieting is so massively different from healing your relationship with food. If you are dieting and you have specific macros to follow, and sure, you go over them by 20 grams, there was something you didn't stick to. So it makes sense in your brain to tangibly see that, okay, I didn't stick to these numbers. I better try again tomorrow. But when you're healing your relationship with food and you binge, you're not restarting. It's actually part of the process at the beginning. If you ate some chocolate and you felt a little bit guilty, right? And whatever, like you had some chocolate and it's like, oh, I'm feeling a little guilty. You don't need to restart. It's not restarting. You're on a journey. You're learning how to make peace with food. What you do after that is what will determine your success. What you do after feeling guilty will determine your success. What you do after a binge is what will determine your success. I'm not going to choose to beat myself up. I'm not going to choose to restrict the next day. I'm not going to choose to, do all those things. Like I'm going to choose to continue healing because I am somebody who doesn't give up. That's not who I am. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going because I'm going to conquer. And you're excited about that. When you consistently show up for yourself, even if you have a binge, it doesn't take away from the progress that you've made. So let's say for 2 days in a row, you were listening to your body, you were stopping when you were full, you were able to bake cookies with your daughter, and you just felt so at peace with food. And then you had a binge. That does not take away from the fact that you stopped when you were full, you baked cookies with your daughter, and you felt at peace with food. It doesn't take away from that. So when you think I had a binge, now I need to restart, that's the problem. You're not restarting. This is not a diet. I like to say you're moving along. You can't see a binge as a failure on your journey to becoming binge free. Let me say that again. You can't see a binge as a failure on your journey to becoming binge free. If you're considering a binge a failure when you're trying to stop binge eating, that's the problem. There's going to be times, especially at the beginning, where you're still binging and you're still feeling a little guilty. You're learning, it's been a week, it's been a month. You can't expect yourself to stop binge eating if you haven't fully implemented the tools and given your brain some time to reprogram and to rewire. Right? Like, first of all, you got to have the proper tools, but then you got to execute the tools. Like I said at the very beginning, knowledge is very powerful, but implementing the tools is what's going to change your life. Another thing with consistency, you need to be realistic. Let's say you're someone who eats nutrient-dense meals. It makes you feel good. So you eat a lot of meals at home, but you're able to go out for dinner when you want, when a friend asks you or a partner asks to take you out for dinner, and you go out for dinner and you move your body from a place of self-love. You don't have really a lot of like crazy rules around working out or crazy structure, but you do it because it makes you feel good. Maybe it's twice per week. And you're so consistent with that month over month over month over month. Who is going to be more consistent? That version of yourself or the version of yourself that is trying to be so spot on with your macros to a T, and it needs to be the exact grams. And when your partner asks you to go out for dinner, you say no. And then you work out 7 days per week and you can't have any sweets. And you go to the grocery store and you're with your list and you're like, I'm going to cross off chocolate off the list because there's no way I'm going to buy chocolate. And yeah, I really wanted those cookies, but I'm probably not going to have the cookies. No, I'm not going to have the cookies this week. And you stick to that for a week straight. And then the next week, you binge the entire week. That lasts you a week, a few weeks, or a few months. The person who has realistic expectations for themselves and they're way less harder on themselves, they're going to be more consistent because it's not about being perfect. Consistency is not about being perfect and rigid. There's ebbs and flows. Consistency over perfection. It's so funny. I have this. I was going to say to write this down next, and Cara dropped it down first. But it's true. When you try to have everything so perfect, macros to a T, I can't have chocolate today, and you're trying to be perfect, you're going to be the one who's inconsistent. Compared to something, and I know it feels scary because it's like, I'm already out of control, so I need the rules, Lorna, because if I'm already out of control, I need the rules, but the rules is what's causing you to spiral out of control. Consistency in terms of ending binge eating is not about never overeating or never having binges at the beginning, but it's what you choose to do after those moments. So, like I said, it's, hey, Hannah, one person can have a binge and they're like, oh, see, I'm never going to stop my binge eating. I'm a failure. I'm never going to bother going for that walk that I planned to. I'm just going to continue to eat more food because I already feel bad. Versus somebody who reminds themselves, what did I say at the beginning? Oh, right. I am going to conquer binge eating. I am going to heal my relationship with food. So I'm not going to beat myself up. I understand that I'm trying to stop my binge eating and I'm at the beginning of my journey, but what I choose to do afterwards is what matters. So I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to continue to pick myself back up. And you know what? I'm still going to go on that walk because you know what? Fresh air makes me feel really good. And you know what? My mental health really matters. So I'm going to do that. That is the difference. Do you see the difference? That person who chooses a powerful way to go about their binge, they're going to be further along than somebody who sees a binge as a failure, and I'm never going to stop. We don't go there. That's none of you. We're not, that's not any of you. I also want to clarify something as well too. When I say that I went all in on myself and I showed up for myself, what that didn't mean was every single day was life-changing and I had breakthroughs every single day and I felt like showing up every single day. The reality is when you're healing your relationship with food, there's going to be times you don't feel like showing up for yourself. But it's not about every single day. Okay, you got to do a morning routine and you got to do breath work and you got to meditate and you got to check in with your hunger and fullness cues and you better stop when you're full and you got to do this and you got to do that and you better do this. Oh, also this. It's not about that. It's not every single day needs to be perfect. Consistency is what happens over time. When I say I went all in on myself, what I mean is I learned the tools, I executed the tools, I showed up for myself, I was willing to change my thoughts, I was willing to not restrict after a binge, I was allowing myself to order what I wanted at the restaurant, I was taking action, I was doing things differently than what I've ever done before, I was prioritizing my relationship with food, I was prioritizing my mental health. This is what I mean. Maybe your definition of consistency has always looked different when you were on a diet, right? Like, I got to stick to the plan. I got to work out every single day. Nope, sorry, I can't have anything sweet. Nope, sorry, I can't go out for dinner. But that's not what's needed when you're trying to heal your relationship with food. It's not about the food. It's not even about what you eat. It's how you show up for yourself. It's changing your brain, changing your programming your brain. You don't have to go balls to the wall. It doesn't have to be perfect. Sorry, I'm just laughing right now. My husband's playing this music downstairs. It's like Oprah. I'm just dying. It's like Andrea Bocelli or something. I'm freaking dying. Sorry, side note. Okay, on track. Okay. Babe, what are you listening to? Babe, what are you listening to? Oh, that's so funny. I'm sorry, you guys. I just got sidetracked. This is real life, okay? We're having fun. Oh my God, it's like Oprah downstairs. I'm like trying to be really serious on this training. Okay. Okay. So you need to be committed to continuously showing up for yourself. I'm sorry. And give yourself lots of grace and self-compassion. Being committed is I am committed and nothing's going to get in the way. And one of my favorite quotes is, I'm going to do the best that I can. I love this quote. I am going to do the best that I can. And even asking yourself, like, am I doing the best that I can? And why I love this quote so much is because it allows you to give yourself grace and self-compassion, but it also makes sure, it makes sure that you're still taking action. So when you ask yourself this question, am I doing the best that I can? I want you to honestly answer this right now. No judgment, ask yourself. And I want you to write in the chat, am I doing the best that I can right now? What comes to mind? Maybe you're like, yes, I'm trying. I'm part of Lorna's membership. I'm part of a community. I'm utilizing the tools. I am showing up for myself. I'm part of this masterclass. I really am doing the best that I can. I am starting to eat intuitively. I'm paying attention to how I feel. You know you're showing up as the best version of yourself and you're putting in the work. Amazing. But maybe you also ask yourself this question. And maybe you're not doing the best right now that you can. You know you can do better. You say you want a better relationship with food, but you're not taking action. You say you want to stop binge eating, but you're not getting the support that you know you need. You say you want to stop your binge eating, but you're not willing to release your food rules. You say you want to stop your binge eating, but you're still beating yourself up. I'm just checking the chat here. Yes, Mac is in the membership. I'm showing for myself every damn day. And this is not to beat yourself up. Do not see it like that. Do not see it like that. But what I also want to say is you can't be afraid of giving yourself tough love. Yes, self-compassion is needed. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You need to put in the work. You're here because you want a binge-free life. You got to take action. You got to put in the work. You got to show up for yourself. I did that consistently. And that's why I'm almost 4 years binge-free. So I love this phrase because it allows you to just check in with yourself. It's not about being perfect. It's not about things need to be so perfect. It's about doing the best that you can. And if you are taking steps forward every single day, right? If that is the case, amazing. And if not, then you can see, oh, wait, I'm not doing those things, but it's not a bad thing because you know what? I'm actually seeing that I can make changes. For example, I've spent 20 years of my life, maybe this is what you're thinking to yourself, I spent 20 years of my life dieting. So I'm not going to beat myself up that I haven't stopped binging yet if I don't know what the tools are. I haven't learned how to rewire my brain yet. I haven't learned how to get rid of my urges yet. Maybe you don't know what to do. And this is where you're like, okay, I'm committed to doing the work and I got to figure out what to do. I need to focus on my relationship with food over dieting. I need to focus on my mental health over the number on the scale. Right? How many of you, yes, want to stop binge eating, but you're also a badass and you're like, I want every area of my life to be the best that it can. Like, I want to show up as the best possible version of myself every damn day. Who here is like, yeah, that's me? Because you're not here to live a mediocre life. You want an incredible life. Feeling free with food, feeling confident in your own skin, having an amazing intimate life with your partner, being present with your family, making memories, thriving in your career, loving your life, soaking in every moment. This is what I can help you with. You will conquer binge eating. But when you think about who do I want to show up as, and am I doing the best that I can? It can remind you that you're either on the right path, you are putting in the work, and you got to trust that everything you do is going to compound. Every time I don't give in to my urges, that's going to compound. Every time I don't give in to my urges, the next one's going to be less intense. And the less intense my urges, the less binges I'm going to have. But when you ask yourself that question, Brianna says, that's me. Max says, yes. Michelle, Jalen. If you ask yourself that question, am I doing the best that I can? And you know this incredible life that you're meant to live. And you're like, well, to be honest, I'm kind of just saying, screw it. I'm tired from work and I feel this urge to binge. And it's so much easier to just give in because no one's holding me accountable. No one knows that I have this urge and I'm home alone. So what's one more day? I probably should stop these crazy food rules and telling myself that I can't have peanut butter because I actually love it so much and I always binge on it anyways. Right? I probably should stop these food rules, but I'm just going to keep telling myself I'm not going to buy it. I know I shouldn't be giving into the urge to binge, but like one more time. I know I shouldn't be weighing and tracking and measuring all of my food because it makes me so obsessed with food, but I don't trust myself. So I'm not going to bother even learning how to eat intuitively. I'm just going to keep doing this. Right. So it's not about beating yourself up, but it's like, oh, I want you to get excited. There are actually things that you can be doing differently that can help you regain control. Self-check-in awareness is going to be very important to either give you the reassurance of like, heck yes, I am showing up for myself. I am doing everything that I can. I am taking action. I am showing up as my best self. Or it's a reminder of where you still need to take action. It's that balance. Yes, I'm putting in the work. Yes, I'm doing the best that I can. And always double checking with yourself that you are taking action. Drop below action equals results. Can you drop that down for me below? Because this is very important. Action equals results, but also the right type of action. This is key. The right type of action is going to create results. The right type of action is going to help you have less urges. I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about more like tangible things because the right action is required. But you want to be making sure that you're taking the right action, because if you're putting all this energy towards trying to rely on willpower and motivation to not give in to my urges, if you're trying to keep trigger foods out of the house, you might be putting so much energy into the wrong things. You might be trying so hard to be so spot on and X amount of carbs and X amount of protein when those are the things that you shouldn't be focusing on to conquer binge eating. So you might be putting so much energy and taking action towards the wrong things. And I don't want that for you. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you don't need more motivation. You don't need to try harder. You don't got to keep trigger foods out of the house or follow these crazy restrictions or distract yourself when you feel the urge to binge. There's actually tangible tools that you can implement to become less impulsive, to change your thinking, to not give in to your urges. And I'll talk about that more tomorrow. So the right action is very important, and tomorrow is going to be more strategic. But for today, how are you feeling? Today was all about the mindset of showing up for yourself, releasing the timelines, redefining your definition of consistency, taking action. That's the first step. You need to show up. You got to take action and see how a different mindset is required to conquer binge eating, and how it's so different. Consistency when it comes to dieting compared to consistency in terms of healing a relationship with food. It's not pressure. It's excitement. It's not perfection. It's consistency. It's about doing the best that you can without confusing it with not taking action. So I'm excited for tomorrow's training. There's going to be more strategy. Okay. Karen's in the membership. She just joined the membership. I'm hopeful, excited, amazing. Kara says empowered. So good. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat box. Will you do that for me? Can you let me know how you're feeling? A reminder for the giveaway. I'm choosing 3 winners, 1 tomorrow, 1 the next day, 1 the day after. The different ways, remember, you can enter. I posted the cover photo is a photo that says your binge-free year. You can post that on your stories and you can tag me. You can share any of my Instagram videos or post to your story and tag me. Or you can rate and review the podcast, take a screenshot and just send it to me. Okay. Optimistic, I'm hyped, hopeful, feeling seen, feeling ready, excited, hopeful, action equals results. Yes, yes, yes. Amazing. So seen, understood, and empowered. Let's go. I love it. Still anxious about it, but relieved I'm not alone in feeling this way. Yeah, I see you, Kendall. Excited to learn strategies. Ooh, I'm excited. So good. Okay. Feeling even more hopeful and excited. This is amazing. Nora just joined. Nora's in the membership as well. So I'm going to make a post in the group and I'm going to say day 1 homework. I want you to post your biggest takeaways. Why? Because if you write the biggest takeaways, it's always going to come to mind. You're going to remind yourself what you need to focus on. So I will make a post in there and you can share your biggest takeaways. I want you all to do this. Remember, your binge-free year starts now. How you show up today matters. How you show up today matters. So I'm going to make the post as soon as I get off of this. You can share your biggest takeaways. We're going to have fun. There's going to be giveaways the next few days. Show up for yourself like this is going to change your life, because it absolutely will. And the people that know that are going to take this information. They're going to start changing their life. So thank you for being here. Have an amazing rest of your day. Day 1 is complete. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, same location. Hopefully my husband doesn't have some Andrea Bocelli opera music on, so I don't start laughing in the middle of it. Have an amazing rest of your day, you guys, and we'll see you all soon.